Hey everyone, this is Avril from the Overwatch League. Today I've got some really cool gameplay footage from the Overwatch 2 alpha that just took place. This is obviously not my own gameplay. We're taking a look at Lip from the Shanghai Dragons on his signature Sombra pick. Easily the best Sombra player in the world. He defined an entire meta on that hero last year in 2021 and won the championship with Sombra as a Grand Finals MVP with the Shanghai Dragons. Before we get started, I want to make sure I give you a bit of context around what this is. The game we're looking at today is a professional pickup game from the Overwatch 2 alpha. It's not an actual scrim. The players are not even necessarily playing their correct roles. We have a mixture of Shanghai and New York players spread across both of the teams here. With Yaki on Doomfist, Kellen on a Lucio, Yaki's even playing Mercy. There's a lot of uncertainty in what teams and players are actually going to play when the Overwatch League season starts this year in 2022. So don't take anything you see here as evidence of a particular meta or any indication of what we'll actually see when the season starts. This is also my first Overwatch related video on this channel, so I'm going to be covering a lot more Overwatch 2 and Overwatch League related stuff over the course of the season and the beta, so please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. If you want to check out my live streams as well, where I'm going to be playing the Overwatch 2 beta and also co-streaming various professional Overwatch 2 matches from Tier 2 and the Overwatch League, follow me on twitch.tv/Avril. So with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about Sombra in Overwatch 2. If you remember from last year's Overwatch League Grand Finals, Blizzard released info about both Bastion and Sombra's reworks. She has definitely changed quite a bit for Overwatch 2, notably in her hack ability, which has also affected her overall playstyle. Let's quickly go over the changes if you're not up to speed, and we'll talk a little about how I believe that is going to affect Sombra's gameplay in Overwatch 2 for both the casual and professional level. So as I mentioned, the most defining change in the rework is her hack. Team 4 had made it very clear that they wanted to address how much CC or crowd control was present in the game, and in particular they made it a goal to remove as much CC as they could from DPS and supports in order to allow that to become more of a tank niche. And Sombra's hack in Overwatch 1 was definitely one of the most highly complained about forms of CC in the game. Notably though, it's also her signature ability, so it's hard to completely change it without ruining Sombra's identity too much. The end result is what you've been seeing here, where the hack now only silences or prevents you from using abilities for 1 second instead of 5 seconds. The overall cooldown has been greatly reduced to allow you to hack more frequently, but the actual CC portion of the hack has been greatly reduced. I actually don't mind that they kept in the 1 second silence. I think it'll add in a lot of clutch potential for Sombra players, especially at a high level. We can get that super valuable hack cancel on certain ultimates, or cancel other heroes with channel abilities like Doomfist's new power block to deny them. You can still disrupt players with a hack in a way that isn't overbearing in preventing people from playing the game entirely, so I think this is overall a good approach to addressing CC while still enabling Sombra's gameplay as much as possible from Overwatch 1. Beyond the 1 second silence though, the rest of the new hack now allows Sombra to deal more damage to her hack targets, with a few tweaks to her machine pistol damage as well to compensate. It says in the graphic that the damage increases 50%, but I can tell you that the bonus damage has now been reduced to 40% in the time since her rework was revealed last year. In any case, her hack is still the most defining part of her kit and the most important rework she received. She's been kind of moved away from a support utility-based DPS to more of a straight-up backline assassin who can deal a lot of damage to her hack targets, which also get revealed to your teammates for the duration of the hack. Also remember that Sombra usually gets played in dive compositions, which includes Zen, so the combination of Discord or any damage boost with the hack is going to be pretty dangerous to play against. Her invis has also changed. She can now hack from stealth without decloaking, which includes hacking health packs. You can still interrupt the hack with damage, but since you can't see her hacking you, it basically guarantees that she's going to connect on whatever target she's going for. And even though the silence only lasts 1 second, the hacked player is definitely going to be under threat very quickly, which was also my experience playing against Sombras in the alpha. Don't forget that DPSs now also have a roll passive which increases their base movement speed by 10%. Yes, that stacks with Sombra's already increased movement speed while cloaked, so expect it to rotate on the map quickly. Her translocator hasn't changed, so the last thing in her rework is the ultimate. EMP now deals 40% of current health damage to affected enemies, as well as applying hack, which includes the 1 second silence. It doesn't deal any specific damage to shields, but it does still destroy deployed barriers on the map. Important to note is that armor in Overwatch 2 actually reduces all damage dealt to it by 30%, which includes Sombra's EMP. That means the 40% damage against armor is actually reduced by 30% as well, which, if you do the maths, the 40% is now 28% current health damage versus armor. So where does that leave us? Sombra should still be a very good dive hero in Overwatch 2, with Tracer receiving a slight nerf to her damage. It actually opens up a lot of room for other dive heroes to flourish. While I know most community sentiment and initial reaction was that Sombra looks broken, I know the pros definitely felt like Sombra was overtuned during the playlist last year at the Overwatch League Grand Finals. During the alpha, I never felt like she was that overpowered, especially in a scrim environment. The 1 second hack is a little disruptive and the damage boost is threatening, but the old hack from Overwatch 1 honestly felt way more powerful, especially for shutting down a target with coordination. The EMP seems really lackluster to me. The real power of the EMP in Overwatch 1 was that you would hack multiple targets, which is a team fight turning ability and a very clear win condition. I've seen so many teams in scrims during the alpha just shake off the EMP damage after getting hit and go about their business like nothing really happened. I already mentioned that the EMP damage is reduced by armor, so it's not even particularly good against tanks, which is what it sounds like it should be good against when you look at that 40% number. I think EMP is still a good way to cancel someone else's ultimate or remove the team's bonus health from things like Sound Barrier or Rally. It just doesn't seem like the team fight winning ultimate that it was in Overwatch 1. Don't get me wrong though, you're about to see Lip instantly delete Myeongbong with an EMP, but it just seems like EMP is now better as a solo ability versus specific targets you want to melt instead of the 6-man ultimate you'd aim for back in Overwatch 1. I guess Lip had it figured out this whole time, even in 6v6, and MEMPs are actually the right way to play. I think the real strength of her kit now is in how oppressive you can be to other supports and DPS targets by hacking them from invis and just chunking them down. If you can combo that with other divers like Doomfist and Genji, you're gonna be finding picks pretty consistently. She definitely seems like a hero that needs to have the initiative to allow your team to pull the trigger first, instead of something you play defensively to react to the other team. The lack of CC in Overwatch 2 outside of tanks also makes her much more difficult to punish in the neutral. You can hack at max range and pretty much deal decent damage without any risk to yourself, since you can't just be CC like you used to. That means the only effective way to force Sombras to translocate is by dealing enough damage to threaten their lives. I can definitely tell you playing against Sombra as a support or DPS is definitely this feeling of claustrophobia moving around the map. You know that you're always the primary target for hacks, and at any point that your tank or other teammates are distracted, they're not going to be able to peel Sombra off for you, which gives her a lot of room to operate, especially in a 5v5 solo tanking environment. I think the best success you'll find playing as Sombra in Overwatch 2 is to be a hit-and-run assassin looking for opportunities on the backline to give your team a player advantage through your own damage or setting up dive targets. You can also look for trades if your team gets initiated on first, since usually the other team's tank is going to already be engaged, leaving you good 1v1 opportunities in the back. If you want to be really effective as a teammate, you can also use Overwatch 2's new ping feature to ping targets and give information to your team while you are scouting in invisibility. That's actually one of her strengths that most people would overlook. Ultimately, I think she will see playtime during the season, especially in the hands of someone like Lip. This footage was taken early enough that Lip is still kind of feeling his way around the new Sombra, so despite being the best Sombra player in the world, he's still kind of figuring it out in these particular games. It's going to take some time for people to really find out the best way to play her, so hopefully we'll get to see her evolve over the season. You'll have to excuse me for a moment as I fiddle around some settings, but that's really it for my thoughts on Sombra so far. There's still one more map of Sombra gameplay here, and a special treat at the end as well with a bit of Lip Tracer. Comment below what your thoughts are on Sombra, and also let me know what kind of other content you'd like to see. If you made it this far, I really want to thank you for being part of my first Overwatch video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. In any case, I hope to see you during the Overwatch League season, where I'll be covering the APAC matches. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Anyone want to join? Be right back. Feeling much better. ¿Qué onda? Ultimate is ready. Atacando las luces. Mucho mejor. Initiating.
Double kill.
I'm on fire! Everyone follow me! Been here all along. See you later. Much better. Fire at will! Feeling much better.
My ultimate's ready.
Gotcha. I'm out of here. Much better. My EMP is charging. My EMP is almost charged. My ultimate is almost ready. Apagando las luces. See you later. Ahorita regreso.
Give me a
Much better.
My ultimate's ready.
Oh, let's break it!
Translocating. Be right back. ¿Qué tal? Feeling much better. My ultimate is charged. I'm out of here. Ahorita regreso. Mucho mejor. Gee.
Telephone ready.
Fire at will. We all make mistakes.
objective.
Translocating.
On the objective.
See you later. Be right back. Feeling much better.
Огонь по готовности.
I'm out of here. Much better.
Team kill. Score 2-0.
Later.
The true enemy of humanity is disorder.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Swiftly.
Cheers, love. It's time to save the world. Taking damage. Back we go. Back in the fight. Oh, that's love. All right. Back in the fight. Let's try something else. With it. She's up. Back in the fight. Zoom! With it. Back in the fight.